Okay, we can start with this tendering process and bid evaluation process of the BOT. The typical evaluation and selection process in a competitive tender is shown in the figure below. Pre-qualification. The main aim of the request for the qualification is to shortlist of the competitive proposals by consortia that consist reputable and experienced operators and bankers. Nevertheless, pre-qualification will eliminate and discourage non-serious promoters. So while when you are filling the tenders, you must be pre-qualified. Okay. So in your qualification, your turnover, your bankers, your experience, that all should be there. Then and then you can be pre-qualified, and then you can go for the further. Otherwise, just will fill the tender. If it is not agreed, no problem. Like this, some mentality is there, that is non-serious promoters. So how that particular process is there? Government issues some, government gives the advertisement, then pre-qualifications, then government open the tenders, tendering, then evaluating, and then further discussion and contracting or agreement can be decided. Then critical success factors. So BOT projects are characterized by high risk and cost overruns. Okay, so one of the author is there, that Trung, he tell or he identified 6 critical success factors that are vital for the project promoters in winning the BOT contract. So you must require these 6 characteristics with you. Then and then it is easy to win the BOT contract or to get BOT contract. First is the entrepreneurship and leadership. So your entrepreneur, your company structure, your leader who is presenting your company, that leadership qualities and all the things. Then project identification. So there are many projects are there, but whether the project is right, whether it can generate the revenue, and whether it is suitable for our company turnover, that is called right project identification. Okay, so if you select wrong project, then your work will be double. Then strength of the strength of the constituent. What is your constituent? What is your strength? What is your company strength is there, that you should identify very well. So some companies are good in contracting, some companies are good in operating. So which type of work we should carry out? Okay, so that we should identify. What is our strength? So in TPO, when you are going for different interviews, they will ask you to make the SWOT analysis. Okay, yes, SWOT, SWOT analysis. What is that SWOT analysis? SWOT, SWOT. Yes means strength. Okay. Then weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So SWOT analysis, SWOT. Yes, that is indicated by strength. W is weaknesses. O means opportunities, where your opportunities are there, and T is the threats. What are the difficulties you can face in future? So that SWOT analysis of every company is very, very important, and you must understand your strengths. Okay, so if you identify your strengths, it is very easy to understand to what factor we can give the stress. Okay, so that is the one of the important uh, factor. Okay, so how many peoples are there? How many groups are there in your company? This can become the strength of your company. So that is called short consentium. That is third point. Fourth, technical solution advantages. So how many good technical solution, how many good expert team is with you? Okay, so technical solutions are always helpful to save the expenditure to earn more profit and whatnot. So what is the technical team capability and how much technical good team is with you? That is also one of the important part, and how that advantageous factor of the technical advancement can be taken. Then financial package differentiation. So that also we must know. So how much financial package we can differentiate. Okay, how much strongly we can put the financial package. Some companies are good in construction, already I told, some are in operating, some are in maintenance. Okay, so you might be knowing that different advertisements are there in the TV right now. Urban Clap on advertisement is there. The person who has come to your house and clean your AC. Okay, so like this, the different things are there. So they are telling that we are good in the maintenance sector. Okay, so they are not involved, they are not installing new AC. New AC manufacturers may be different, that Blue Star and Voltas and whatnot, like this. Okay, so that financial package, how you are good, so that you have to explain in proper way, and differentiation in guarantees. So you have to be very strong about guarantees. It means relation to your banks and other things should be very, very good. Then and then the bank can be stand with you. Yes, you can take this project, we can provide you this much amount, like this. So that is called the guarantee, different guarantee. Reasons why government adopt BOT projects. Okay, why the government is asking, why government is giving such build, operate and transfer project, why government should not build or should not conduct, carry this project under him. The involvement, the reasons are involvement of private sector and experienced commercial leaders ensures an in-depth review as an additional sign of the project feasibility. Whatever the governments are there, government reports are there, and that certain lacunas may be there about project feasibility, and commercial leaders ensures in-depth review about that project. So to provide certain task to one of the company or to one of the person, so that work is get done automatically. Project risk and burden that would be otherwise have to be borne by the public sector is allocated to the private sector. So project risk and burden, all of you are knowing that the risk and burden of how it adds. So instead of government, that project risk or burden of that particular completing that project within particular time period, etc. So that burden is transferred to the private sector, and government public sector company can feel relaxed. The use of private sector capital, initiative, and knowledge about know how to reduce the project construction cost, shorten the schedule, and improve the operating efficiency. So all of you are knowing that government has, we can say, red chain work, red chain line, lal pitida karbar. So everywhere long time is required, then capital is required more. So all of you are hearing about that. This work is carried out by government. Last year the cost of 1,200 crore. This year cost is increased by 1,600 crore. Like so that delay in the releasing bills and whatnot. So to avoid that, if we use the private sector's capital, so money is also generated by private sector, so that capital we can use. Then initiative, and those who are working in private sector, they know how to reduce the construction cost, how to shorten the schedule. So all of you are knowing in the CPM and PERT how the schedule is made, network diagram, and how we can shorten it. Okay, so in project crashing, we have gone through that, how the shorten, how the labors can be increased, and how the shorten the schedule can be there, and whatever the operating is there, it is a little bit effective one. Okay, so if government workers are there, or all of you are having that experience, they are coming late and they are working with some lazy attitude and whatnot, that operating efficiency can be improved. The development of projects that would be otherwise have to wait and compete for source uh, different sources is accelerated. So one government is approved, another government rejected. We have to wait because that development of project will not be proper. Other parties will take the objection. So that political other issues. So development of project should be stopped. So to avoid such all the things, to compete to the other world. And one hidden agenda with the government is that to provide good facility to the people because they have elected that government. So work can be shown to the people. Yes, this government can do this work and what. These are the some reasons why the government adopt this particular BOT. Then characteristics of BOT projects. So what is the important characteristics of BOT project that we are going to look? BOT projects are financed on a project with the basis of limited resources. Okay, so finance is on limited resources. Typically, in limited resources financing, the leader provides debit to the concession company slowly based upon expected cash flow, revenue generating capacity of the project. So always that is one of the good point, good characteristics, that limited resources there, and every time cash flow and revenue generating capacity is considered. Financing is provided on the merit of revenue generating capacity of the project rather than the assets of transnational company. So how much asset of that transnational company is there, how much asset is there, so that is not considered, but revenue generating capacity is considered. That is the important one. So asset is the asset of that company, but what is the revenue generating capacity of that particular project is considered. A key characteristics of BOT project is raising of finance entirely by the private sector without an involvement of government. The government is not paying the single rupee, just they are providing the guarantees and other things. The private sector is fully responsible for design, construction, finance, operating. The government will not take load of these sub areas of design, construction, and finance, operating, etc. So that load is on the private sector company who is taking that particular project. BOT projects are complex structure comparison with multiple independent agreements. So here one single point is there, single point of contact is there instead of having the contacts with different independent parties. BOT projects are typically large scale infrastructure projects. Transaction cost among the among amount on average is 5 to 10% of the total cost. Okay, so large projects are there. So if we put all the money, then 5 to 10% profit will be there. That transaction cost is also considered. BOT projects are associated with uncertainty and high risk. So all of you are knowing very well BOT projects, that things are there. So due to some local authorities or local, we can say opposition parties and all other local conditions, there may be the challenges, there may be the opposite actions. So that high risk is involved in such a BOT project. BOT projects transfer the risk to the private sector. That's why government don't want to take that risk of opposing the things, and certain scams may be take place and whatnot. So instead of that, it can be transferred. BOT formula can be applied to any sector in economy. So BOT particular formula, it is not only for road and toll collection, etc. It can be applied to any sector of the economy, like power plant sectors, transportation, telecommunications, etc. Okay, so this is the flow chart of the BOT. So in class, in little bit deep, we will go there. Then acceptance criteria. So that acceptance criteria is one of the important part. That is the NPV, that is the net present value of the project should be positive. Okay, so whatever the today's net cost is there, not net value is there of today's date, that should be the positive one, that should not be negative. The discount rate of the financial analysis may include the risk over the current commercial rate. The financial IPR should have the value greater than the discount rate. Okay, so all these things are there. So generally, if we consider the interest rate of 18% and profit rate is near about or discount rate maybe 20%. So this is the, in terms of financial, this can be there. Then the risk also, risk part is there. So different types of risk are there with this BOT project, that political risk, currency and foreign exchange risk, cost turnover risk, delay risk, traffic adjustment risk, market risk, operation risk, and force major risk. So if road is there, construction is there, how that traffic can be on that road, how traffic can be uh, goes for different way, so that the road can be available for construction. Daily risk is there, political risk. So different risks are there, foreign currency exchange rate may be there, like this different risk may be there. So different risks are having different values. Sometimes political risk is more, sometimes that currency risk or value of money risk may be there. Sometimes everything is good, but local risk is there, or sometimes some operating risk is there. So that risk is, different types of risk are involved. Again, by considering all these, there are some advantages of BOT projects. So what are the advantages? The use of private sector financing to provide new source of capital which reduces public borrowing and direct spending and which may improve the host government credit. So government credit, already I told you, the government credit is increased without making any expenditure. The facilities created for the public sector or for the public to choose the government, and that particular private sector is also in beneficiary point of view in the revenue generating things. Ability to accelerate the development of projects that would otherwise have to wait for and complete for the different resources. The government can start number of BOT projects at different location at the same time. He can engage the different private companies, commissioning parties, and that development process can be accelerated. Use of private sector capital initiative, how to reduce the cost, construction, shorten schedule, so that the use of that different knowledge, because all peoples cannot be combined in government sectors. Our government sector is having limited people, so they cannot be run different projects at the same time. But different projects, if it is given to the different companies, they can be run simultaneously, and we can take the benefit of different peoples at the same time. The involvement of private sponsors and experienced commercial leaders. Okay, so they can handle the different pressures and they can solve the problems. Already we have discussed these points. Technology transfer, training of local